So we're going to carry on. And there's a couple ways you can do this. I personally think the best way of doing it is to think about it just like we did the problems from yesterday. Like this thing right here says you've got a 2x raised to 3/4, add 2 is 10. Okay, well, let's subtract 2 from both sides. So what this is saying is if I take the fourth root of a 2x that gets cubed, I should end up with an 8. Well, then let's raise each side to the fourth power and then come back and cube root each side. But remember, you can think of this as either the cube root of an 8 to the fourth or it's the cube root of an 8 to the fourth. So the cube root of an 8 to the fourth is 2. You raise it to the fourth, you get 16. So x is 8. And then if we checked, oops. Let's see if this is true or not. 16 to the 3/4. Again, that's the fourth root of 16, then you cube it. So it's a 2 cubed, 8 and 2. Yep, that is 10. X is 8. All right, so that's one way. The other way is quicker. It's just you'll figure out. Let's say we got to that point right there. Well, this side's raised to the 3/4. Then let's raise both sides to the 4/3, because when you multiply a fraction times its reciprocal, you get a 1. And 2x to the first is just 2x. And so I'm going to do the cube root of 8 and raise it to the fourth. Definitely quicker, which is never bad, like right here. Now, I put these two examples on here to make sure you see the difference. A 2x all to the 3/4, this is exactly that. It's a 2x all to the 3/4. This does not say that. It's not a 2x that's getting raised to 1/2. It's just an x that's getting raised to 1/2, and then you double it when it's done. So the first thing I would do is divide both sides by 2. And then if you want to think of it like we did yesterday, of 1/2 power, that was a principal square root. So what do you square root and get a 16? And that's a 256. And then you check it. Oops. Yep. Okay. The other way is when you got to this step, raise both sides to the second power, which is, again, easier. I understand. It's just this example is an example of why you got to be careful with it. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. This is the cube root of an x squared is 16. So if I cube both sides, I get to there. And then, but here's the problem. You got an x squared. What can you square and get whatever this number is? It's either positive or negative, the principal square root of that 16 cubed, which is the same thing as the principal, either positive or negative, the principal square root of 16 all cubed. And the principal square of 16 is 4, so it's plus or minus a 4 that gets cubed. So it's positive or negative 64. Okay, here's the issue. It's like when you got to this step right here, and you said, oh, let's raise both sides to the 3/2. That's the square root of a 16 cubed. That part would only give you one answer, because when you do the fractional exponents, just on a number, you treat that like a principal, right? A principal square root, cube root, whatever. So from the way it looks, you'd think it's just 64, but it's not. So here's the kicker, is if wherever your variable is and there's a fractional exponent, if the numerator is even, you're going to have plus or minus in the answer. So it's fine just to know that. No issue there. Okay. But this shows why. Again, quicker way of doing it. But you just got to realize when you've got to make sure to think about all the possibilities. So this one, numerator's odd. You might as well just say, oh, well, let's raise both sides to the second power. And it's fine. And then x squared minus x minus 30 is going to be 0. I'm just going to factor because it factors. So x might be either 6 or negative 5. But again, I got to check it. So if I put a 6 in, is that 6? That's 36. That's principal square root. Yes. Okay, if I put the negative 5 in, remember, this is a principal square root. It can't be negative 5, so you throw it out. X is only 6. Okay, this one, check the numerator. Odd. You don't have to worry about it. You're going to get one answer, so it is fine. Well, I say that. Like there's a chance, like if there had been an X on the other side, we might have had to do extra stuff. But if I raise both sides to the 4/3, remember that's the cube root of an 8 to the 4th. Cube root of 8 is 2. 2 to the 4th is 16. Oops. So x is 14. Let's check our answer. Go back right here. 14 plus 2, all to the 3/4. Is it 8? 4th root's 2, cube it's 8. It sure is. X is 14. Okay.